Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be showing you all the best features of OnePlus Nord. By the way guys, I've already uploaded a dedicated video for the tips and tricks section where I talked about many things which I won't be covering in this video. So definitely check out that video, link will be in the description. Now the first best thing about this phone is definitely its display. This phone has a 6.44-inch AMOLED display with punch hole design, with 90Hz refresh rate with 20:9 aspect ratio, protected by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass 5. It's an AMOLED display, so the colors pop out a bit more. Even in terms of brightness, it is really top notch. Definitely one of the best displays that you can get in this price segment. Here's a quick preview. Next best thing about this phone is definitely performance. Under the hood, it sports a Snapdragon 765G processor with Adreno 620 GPU, with up to 12GB of LPDDR4X RAM and up to 256GB of UFS 2.1 storage. These are the benchmark scores. Well, the processor on this phone definitely can't be compared to flagship processors, but for the price and the brand name of OnePlus, Snapdragon 765G is also a pretty good processor which packs in great performance for the price, and obviously you won't have any major issues with any kind of games. Next best thing about this phone is definitely its charging speeds. OnePlus Nord comes with Warp Charger 30T with a maximum output of 30 watts, and it can charge the phone directly from 0 to 70% under 30 minutes. So the charging speeds are really fast. For a normal user, you really don't have to charge your phone more than 10 minutes if it's anywhere about 10%. Next, this phone also comes with an in-display fingerprint scanner, which is once again super fast. Just like its brothers OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro, even this phone has a pretty fast in-display fingerprint scanner. Here's a quick preview. Next, we also have the famous Face Unlock feature, which once again works really well. In good lighting conditions, it's almost instantaneous. Most of the time you can't even see the lock screen, and it even works pretty well in low lighting conditions. It just takes like a half a second or a second to unlock the phone, but that's still pretty good. Next, this phone also comes with some great cameras. On the rear, it has a quad camera setup with a 48MP primary camera with Sony IMX586 sensor with electronic image stabilization and optical image stabilization. For selfies, it has a dual camera setup with a 32MP primary camera with Sony IMX616 sensor with electronic image stabilization and an 8MP ultra-wide-angle selfie camera with f2.4 aperture with 105° field of view. These are some sample shots. Next, this phone comes with ultra-wide-angle lens both on the front and rear. On the rear, it has an 8MP ultra-wide-angle camera with 119° field of view, and on the front, it has an 8MP ultra-wide-angle selfie camera with 105° field of view. These are some sample shots. Now going on next, this phone also has support for portrait mode for both front and rear cameras. These are some sample shots. Next we have NIGHTSCAPE. Now this is a dedicated night mode in the default camera application that allows you to take better pictures even in low lighting conditions. These are some sample pictures. Next, this phone also has a dedicated 2MP macro camera, and it brings in super macro mode, which allows you to take close-up shots. Next, we also have a dedicated 48MP mode. Even though this phone has a 48MP camera, by default it takes pictures in 12MP resolution because of the pixel binning concept. For some reason, if you want to take a 48MP picture, you can use this mode. Going on next, we have a new hidden space feature on this phone which allows us to hide applications. We can also password protect them. We can easily hide and unhide those applications directly from the home screen or the app launcher. By the way, these applications are just hidden in the default launcher. If you install any third-party launcher, say like Nova Launcher, they are still visible. Next, we have a brand new quick share feature in the stock camera application. Once you take a picture, just press and hold on the small preview on the camera application and you get some quick shortcuts to share that particular picture. It's not a major feature, but a pretty cool addition, and the animation itself looks pretty cool. Next, we have a brand new feature called File Dash, which allows us to transfer files between phones. If you're trying to transfer files between two OnePlus devices, the entire process is pretty simple, but if you're trying to transfer between a OnePlus device and another Android device, you have to first install another application on the other device. It's just like ShareIt, but it comes pre-installed on all OnePlus devices. Now going on next, this phone also supports 4K video recording at 60 FPS, and here's the sample footage. Next, this phone also supports slow motion video recording. We can record video at 1080p resolution at 240 FPS and at 720p resolution at 480 FPS. At least as of now, there is no support for 960 FPS. Next, we have FNATIC mode, which is an exclusive feature for just this phone. It can get rid of all your distractions while gaming. You can quickly enable it or launch it even while playing a game, and it allows you to block all incoming call notifications, and it turns your phone into a professional gaming device. Next, we have Zen mode. You can access it from the notification toggles, and once you enable this feature, it will literally not allow you to do anything for the next 20 minutes. Even if you restart your phone in those 20 minutes, it still takes you to the Zen mode. If you want to meditate for some time or put your phone down for some time, just give this a try. Next, we have a screen recorder built into the phone. Whether you want to just record your screen for a random purpose or for a tutorial, or if you want to record your game, then you can do all that from your phone with a built-in feature. You can access it from the toggles. You can also change the resolution, bitrate. You can even change the audio source and set video orientation. Next, we have the famous alert slider. Just like on all the previous OnePlus phones, even on this phone, we still get the alert slider. We have 3 modes: silent, vibration, and ring. You can further configure each mode from settings. Using this alert slider, you can change to different modes without even looking at your phone. This is a very unique feature that's available only on the OnePlus phones. Now finally, we have the navigation gestures. Now once you enable them, navigation bar is completely hidden. Now if you want to go home, swipe from the center. For recent apps, swipe and hold. To go back a step, swipe from the left side or right side. Now if you want to quickly switch between the present application and the previous application, you can do a swipe right gesture from the bottom center. Next, we can also trigger Google Assistant with the power button. Now if you're using these navigation gestures, there are no buttons, so you can't press the home button to trigger Google Assistant. In this case, just enable this feature and long press the power button to trigger Google Assistant. You can press and hold the power button for 3 seconds for power options. Next, we have 3-finger screenshot. Now before I show you how to use that, let me show you how to take a screenshot on this phone. Just press the volume down and power button both at the same time, and your phone will take a screenshot. For some reason, if that's a bit difficult for you, you also have this 3-finger screenshot gesture. Once you enable it, you can just swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. This is definitely my favorite way to take a screenshot. Next, we have long screenshot. Let's say you want to take a long screenshot of this web page. Then this is what you need to do. First, take a regular screenshot. You can either use the buttons or the 3-finger screenshot gesture. Once you do that, you'll see a preview, and now click on the button that says expanded screenshot. Once you do that, your phone will automatically scroll through the page, and at the end, it will give you a long screenshot. Next, we have some screen off gestures. First one would be double tap to wake. Now once you enable this feature, as the name suggests, you can just double tap the screen to wake it up. If you're already using face unlock feature on this phone, you can just double tap the screen to wake it up, then your front camera will see your face, and then it will immediately unlock the phone. Overall, it gives you a very immersive experience. Next, we have music controls. Now, once you enable this feature, you can draw less than or greater than symbols when the screen is off to play the previous or next songs, and then draw two parallel lines to play or pause music. And you also have more gestures to do different actions based on your requirement. Next, we have some quick launch shortcuts for the fingerprint scanner. Once you enable this feature, in the lock screen, you can touch and hold the fingerprint scanner. Even after the phone unlocks, just keep holding it and you will see some quick shortcuts. Now you can swipe your finger left or right to switch between these applications and release the finger to open that particular application. You can also swipe down to close the application. Now from these settings, you can save your quick shortcuts. Next, we have fingerprint animations. Now, right out of the box, this is the default animation that we get whenever we use the fingerprint. Besides that, we have a total of 3 animations: Cosmos, Wave and Stripes, and you can use the one based on your preference. By the way guys, fingerprint scan on this phone is super fast, so most of the time, you won't even see the animation completely. Next, we have gaming mode. Now this feature gives you tons of options, like it gives you the option to answer calls via speaker, block all banner notifications and all the notifications in general, disable auto brightness. It can even boost the network for a lag-free experience. It also has some advanced features like game display enhancement and haptic feedback enhancement. Next, we have parallel apps. Now this feature allows you to use 2 instances of the same application. Let's say if you want to use 2 Facebook accounts, 2 Instagram accounts or 2 WhatsApp accounts on the same phone, then this feature will allow you to do that. Usually social media applications like Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp support this feature, but OnePlus has also added few additional apps like Paytm, Uber and many more. Next, we have night mode. You can access it from the display settings, and once you enable it, it puts a warm tint on the screen and filters the blue light. It can even darken the screen further to make the display more comfortable to use at night. You can either enable it and disable it manually or schedule it to automatically turn on and turn off at a specific time or from sunset to sunrise. Next, we have reading mode. Now reading mode on this phone is pretty unique. Once you enable this feature, your phone will automatically adjust the screen color temperature and make the display much more comfortable to read. You can either turn it on manually or schedule it to automatically turn on for few specific applications, say like Amazon Kindle or Google's Playbooks. It can also block peak notifications or heads-up notifications, which can be quite annoying, especially while reading. Next, we have ambient display. Even though this phone comes with an AMOLED display, OnePlus is still not offering us always-on display. Instead, OnePlus offers ambient display, which simply lights up the screen every time you get a notification. It will just display your time, date and notification icons. From these settings, you can also change the clock style and even display a custom message. You can configure the ambient display to show up every time you pick up your phone, or whenever you touch the display, or whenever you get a notification. Now going on next, OnePlus also offers us 3 different themes. First, we have colorful, which changes the notification area depending upon the wallpaper, and the settings page looks a bit more colorful. Next, we have light, where everything has a light background. And the final one is black, which is my favorite one, which changes the background to completely black or dark. Dark mode in specific looks cooler, helps you save some battery, and strains your eyes less at night. For all the 3 themes, you can also change the accent colors. You can either select a color or even give a color code. Next, we have some launcher-based gestures. If you are using the stock launcher from OnePlus, you have some cool gestures and you can tweak them from the launcher settings. On your home screen, you can do a swipe down gesture to pull down the notification bar. You can double tap in an empty area to put the phone to sleep. And finally, you can do a swipe up gesture to open the app drawer. Next, we can also switch audio output device on this phone. It's a very unique feature on an Android phone, and personally, I love it. Let's say a Bluetooth headset is connected to your phone and you're watching a video. Now, if you want to hear the audio from the speakers instead of disconnecting the Bluetooth, you can change the audio output device by using the volume buttons. Next, we have App Locker built into the phone. If you have any applications that hold sensitive information, like net banking applications or payment-based apps like Paytm, Google Pay or PhonePe, you can lock all those applications using this feature. It's a nice feature, but has very limited options. If you're an advanced user, I'll suggest you to use a third-party application. Next, we have Schedule On and Off. Now, this feature allows you to automatically turn on your phone and even turn it off at a specific time on a specific day. You can configure all that from these settings. Next we have OnePlus Switch. Now this feature or an application will allow you to move all your information from your previous phone to your brand new OnePlus phone. You can transfer all your contacts, messages, photos, videos and audio files, and if it's an Android phone, you can even transfer your applications. Using this application, you can also create a backup copy of all your data. So guys, these are all the best features. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video. If you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.